Good morning, guys. Right, today I thought I'd give you a quick tutorial on how I made this tag. Now this is very similar to the one that I had in the front of one of my little journal in a bag. So these are the bags that we had that I was making them with, and I did show you how to make these bags if you can't get any, and that would just pops in there like that, so it's lovely on the front of the bag. So right, so what we've got, I've just made it from a piece of tea coffee stained card, and then I've backed it with some beautiful paper, and I'll just give you a quick, I'll show you how I did that paper to make it muted like that. And then I've got some lovely seam binding there, which I dyed with some of my papers. What was it called? The crepe paper dyes, and that's a blue and a little bit of black in there as well, just to darken it up a bit because it was a bit bright. And then we've got a little tag in here. That's one of the lovely roses from the Artymaze, one of her kits. I'll pop the name of the kit below, but I can't remember which one it was now. And then we've got a little fold up pocket here, which unfolds, and then we've got the little pad of paper that just pulls it in and out, and that just slots in there like that, so you can make as many as you like. So once you've used it up, you can add another one to it. And then we've just got some butterflies, and I think this is also from the Artymaze. There's like a ticket digital kit as well, so I thought that was really pretty. So it's quite simple, but I think it looks really, really nice. So I have done a few things prior, so you don't have to wait around and see me ink things and stuff. So what I've done, I've cut the tag. Now this tag, now what did I do with my ruler? Oh, it's disappeared somewhere. I think what it was 3.5 across here, and then I believe I did it with 6. Let me measure with my cutter. So let's see, yeah, that's 6 across, and then it's 3 3/4 wide. Okay, and then what I did, I just cut the top off. So what I've got here, this is what different tags, I've just cut the corners off. So I just used the biggest one, so obviously the biggest one. So I just pop it on there, clip it over, clip it off, and then turn it there. So all, when you make the tags, they're all the same. Okay, so that's that one. And then I've made the little tag, and I've already sewn it on that one. And then this size was 2 inches wide, and then we have got 3.5, just slightly over 3.5 long. So, and then that fits in the little pouch in there, and this is the pouch. So I'm going to show you how you do that, but I've already done that one so we can decorate it. So that's the 2 tags we need. So for this little pouch here, what I've done, the paper which I've used here is the 120 gram. Now I'll pop below what that is in pounds, but I can't remember now. I'm not very good at remembering those. So all as I did is, you want to do it so it's sort of like in the middle of here. Okay, so this one I just actually eyeballed it, but I will measure it for you. So that's 2 3/4. Okay, so but what I'll do is I'll just sort of eyeball it like this so that we can, I'll show you what I did. So you can measure 2 3/4 along here. Now you can cut it or you can tear it, it's entirely up to you, but I find it quicker just to tear it down here. Okay, so if you put that away, so what I did, I put it on here, and then I just bend it up so you can eyeball it like this. I hope that's in shot there. So we pop that in, so it'll be, that's roughly the pocket, like that. And then we bend this one over, so you've got sort of a lip there. And then we can just cut this little bit off here. So we want it, say, that much. So then you've got the little lip. So you've got the little flap over the top, and then we can just tear this bit off. So you can make them any size, but give them sort of like a little, like half an inch either side. Little space there. So there we go. So that's the little pocket there. So let me tidy that up a little bit. There we go. That's our little pocket. So that fits on there like that. And then to do the little piece across here, all as I did, I took a little bit of card. Now this is the card that I actually made the tags out of, because you want it a little bit harder than the paper. So what I do is just cut that across there. So we just want a little strip of this. Let's just cut this up so it's nice and straight first. And then we want maybe just like a little, what, 1/4 of an inch little strip to go across there, and that's just to slot the book into across there. So what I do, I just pop it on there and then I just cut that off. Okay, and then you just stick that down, and then I just sewed all the way around it like that. So that's what we have here, like that. So that's just on there like that. You glue that down, glue this little bit down here, and then sew around it so you know it's not going to move about. So I will just pop a tiny bit of glue there and there, and then we pop that quite near the top, like there, and then you've got enough room there. So you've just got enough room for the little booklet to fit in the top, and then you just sew all the way around the outside, all the way around, and then you've got your little fold down like that, little pocket. So let's pop that to the side. So that's quite easy. Now what did I do with my ruler? I don't know what I did with it. I did have it here somewhere, because I was going to measure this for you. I'll put the measurements underneath. Oh, there it is, right in front of me. I don't know. So let's have a look. So that is 8 1/4 inches long by just under 3. So there we go. And that would just fit on there lovely like that. Okay, so that's this one. So what we're going to do, we're just going to cover the back of the tag. Now on this one, this is lovely paper. This is a pad of paper that I've had for quite a while, and it came from this, and I don't know what it's called, because I've had it for probably about 5 years, and I use 1 or 2 sheets now and again, but it's absolutely lovely. So I don't know, it's just sort of like a blue and white, but it's absolutely gorgeous like that. So what I've done on this one, I've actually just sewed over the top of it to sort of mute it down a bit, because it was this dark. That's how dark it was. And then I've just, look, once I put the gesso on the top, you can see it almost looks like a denim, which is absolutely gorgeous. So you can see the difference that the gesso makes. And I thought it just mutes it down lovely, and it just really does look very denim-y, so which is nice. So what we do, I'm going to just glue this on here. So we just glue it down on top, and then you can just sew around the edges. So obviously use whatever, oopsie daisy, whatever paper that you've got. But if you've got a like, these are just scrapbook papers that I've got, and I love looking through my scrapbook papers, because they're just all so different and so lovely. There's a lot of them. I've had them for years and years, and I don't use them because they're too pretty. But to mute some of them down, I do actually use the gesso on it, because some of them are quite bright and they're not my colours. They probably were about 5 years ago, but not now. but then again I might come back to them. So there we go, so that's stuck on there, so I'll just cut that out like this. Pop that over there, tidy this up a little bit. Go. So that looks nice. That's right. So you can sew around the edges. I won't do that now. What I will do, I will show you how I make the little pad. So we've got that. So that sticks on there like that. And what I've done, what I do, I stick just 3 corners. Okay. You can sew it on if you want to sew it on. Okay. You can pop it down and just sew around the edges like that. Okay, and then what you can do, I don't like to see the sewing on the back, so if you sew it, you can actually cover it if you want to do with some more tea stain paper. But I love the mottled effect this has, so I don't want to sew it because I don't want to cover it up. So I'm just going to stick it on there like that. But what we're going to do, we're going to make this little pad of paper, okay, that fits in there. So I've made all these out of just like little scrap bits of paper now, which are here. So these are all the ones that I made from my journal in a pocket. These are all the bits that were left over. So what I did, I just took a couple of sheets of the paper, and now I measure how big I want it. So we want it to, obviously, so it fits in there. So just eyeball it. You can measure it if you want to, but it needs to be sort of like that big. Okay, so you just measure it like that. Use any scraps that you've got, any torn pieces of paper that you've got, or your book pages, anything you want, just to make like a little booklet in there. So what I do, I just fold it up, so we've got, you can get 3 sheets out of one of these long pieces, and that's just the A4 paper that I use, copy paper. So then I just tear down the side, down the bits that we've creased. I didn't tear that very well, did I? Let's cut that off. Okay, so then you put them all together, and then so you can do, I think I did 9, and the back piece was 10. And the back piece I do with this. Now this is the 120 gram, and I think this copy paper was 80 gram paper. So what I do, I pop that on there like that. So you want it the same size. Pop that like that. Again, you can cut it, but I'm just going to tear it for now. Like that. And then you put all your pieces together. So we just think we've got like 9 pieces there, or you can put as many as you like. And I pop it on there, and then I bend this piece over like that. And then I just run the sewing machine along this bit like that. So then it just holds the piece of paper in, the pieces of paper in. And obviously cut it so it's all level across there, just cut that little bit off. And then the thicker piece that we've got behind, that just slots into here like that. And then that just folds up like so. So that's quite quick and easy. So where you've sewn it, it just lets that rest on here, so it doesn't go all the way through. So I thought that looks really nice. So I'm just going to pop that out for a minute, and then I'm going to stick this onto here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just do around the 3 sides. Make sure I've got it up the right way. So I just pop a little bit of glue down the edges along here. Like that. you want quite a bit of room. Well, not too much room, but enough room there, because we're going to pop a little tag in there. So we'll just squash that down like that. If you didn't want to use a little booklet in it, you could actually just make it into a pocket. So you could just sew it up the sides and just have a little pocket to pop something into. If you didn't want to make the little this to go inside it. So there we go. And then that will, there we go. So we've got a little pocket behind. So what did I do with my other tag? Here we go. So there we go. So that's similar. So then we need to decorate the front of it. And what I've got here, I've got some little bits of fussy cutting that I'm going to pop on there. So this is where I keep them all my little odds and ends in there. And some fussy cutting here. So that I'm going to pop onto here. So that onto our little tag. Now I don't want to put anything that sticks out too much, because it's just going to get caught on here as you go in and out. So just sort of like a flat fussy cut paper would be the best thing to put on it, because you've still got the journaling to go on the back, but then you're not going to have anything that's going to get caught in and out of there. Alright, so then I've just got little fussy cut flower, and then I've got one of Artymaze little tickets there, and then I've got a little butterfly which can go on here as well, so it's all sort of pink and pretty. Okay, right, so I'm going to put the lid on there for a minute. Bit of glue stick, so we'll glue this onto here. So use whatever glue you want to use, but I do like, you all know I like my glue stick. Stick that at an angle on there, like that, and that just folds down, so make sure that it's folded here. Look, you can see that folds there. I'll get rid of this glue a minute on my fingers. So stick that down. That, and then we're going to pop this one on the top. Again, you can always sew them on as well if you want to, but some of you I know don't have sewing machines, so you don't have to use the sewing to sew any of it. Stick that on there, and then we'll have a little butterfly. And then like that, so a little pink butterfly. Okay, there we go, that looks pretty, doesn't it? So now what we need to do is we need to make this little bit, which is like the little closure on here. So all as I did, that's very simple as well. You take a little bit of card. Oh, here's a little piece, I can use this, can't I? So I can pop that on there. So that's probably, that's 1.25 inches. So I'm just going to take a little square on here, even it up a little bit. Might be a little bit too big, let's see. And that just sticks on here, like that. A little bit too big, I think, because on this one I actually pop the little closure on first. I'm that over the top. So this one I did, and I suppose I could probably peel that up, but I don't want to rip it. And then what I did, I just rounded the edges with a tiny little one here, a little corner punch, just like that. And I did sew around this, but again, you don't have to. So let's just ink the edges around. So ink it up. And then for the closure, maybe I will try and pick those up. I quite like it. So it's over the top. My nails aren't very long at the moment because I broke them all. Will that fit? A little bit comes up too. There we go, that's better. So now what we need to do, I don't put it up too high, you just need it up a little bit just so that this will clip in like that, fold in. So then I've just got some of the 3-in-1 glue. But again, if you wanted to use white glue or Mod Podge or Fabri-Tac, use that. Let me just stick this in the middle, so you just got a little bit there. So how much would that be? That's in centimetres. It's about 1/4 inch just up here. I'm trying to measure, so a lot of you I know do like to measure things, but I'm not the best at measuring things. I just tend to sort of eyeball everything, and then when you ask me I don't know what it is. I'm learning to measure more. So there we go. Let's stick that down over the top. That looks a bit better, doesn't it? What did I do with my tissue? There we go. The glue stick does rub off quite nicely on here. So there we are. So that's our little pocket. Just make sure it dries a little bit on there. Right, so let's pop our little book in. Let's see if I can find it under all my stuff here. So then we pop that in there like that. And then that just closes up. Doesn't that look nice? I think that looks really, really lovely. So pop that on there. Bits and pieces everywhere. And then we need to do the tag. Okay, so here's the tag. So what this is, I did measure it, didn't I? So let's do it again. So the tag is 2 inches by 3.5 on here. Okay, so that just fits in there, lovely, pops out the top. So what I need to do is make a little hole in it, like that. And this is the lovely seam binding that I coloured. So yeah, it came out lovely. So it was sort of like this blue here that I used. This is just the crepe paper dyes. And then I used that, and then I just give it a quick spritz with black. Just to sort of darken it up a little bit because it was a little bit too bright. So that pops through there. Cut that off. There we go. And I'm going to stick our little flower on there, our little rose, like that. I need to just pop a little bit of ink around the edges, just to stress it a little bit. I'm not sure whether this one is the Artymaze. I'm not 100% sure. I don't think it is. And I'm going to pop that down with some glue stick, like this. Go, put that on there like that. If you want to do, you can stamp the background on there, but I quite like it just sort of like that, because it looks a bit sort of almost leathery because of the ink on there. So it's sticky, and then that pops in there like that. So that looks nice, and all I have to do now, let's just take that out. Let's pop a little hole in here. Pop that a little bit lower there, because I will sew around the outside of that just so it matches this one. You can just about see it there. I did ink around the edge. I think that looks nice. Where's that gone? And pop a little bit of the seam binding through the big one here. Like that. Chop that off. There we go. And then pop that one back in there. So there we are. So now I have got 2 tags for ready for when I do my journal in a bag. I've got 2 lovely tags to use. So that was quite simple really, wasn't it? And once you know how to do it, it's not so bad. So there we go guys, I hope you enjoyed that. Please give it a go. So if you've had a go at making my bags, you can have a go at one of these and pop it in the little pocket. So I thought they were really, really pretty. Alright guys, well I hope you enjoyed that. You have a lovely week and I will see you soon. Alright, take care. Bye bye.